What's up, world? It's your girl T Fizzle. Okay, so if you guys have not heard, poor Neo's going through a bunch of baby mama drama. So about 2 months ago, he was on VH1's Behind the Music. And at that time, he had told everybody, he had told the entire world about how this woman named Jesseca White, that was his girlfriend at the time, they had been together for 3 years. She wound up pregnant, and he thought that it was his kid. And as time went on, people were saying, you need to get a paternity test. The kid doesn't really look like you. And it ended up being that this child was not Neo's. I'm going to play you guys a small clip of the VH1 broadcast.
That failed. We heard rumors. We all told him that he should get a paternity test.
All she can say is, he's not yours. That hurt.
Okay, so you guys just watched the small clip, and when I watched the show on VH1, my heart was bleeding for Neo. Neo's a very talented artist. He can write songs. He can play instruments. He's a really, really smart man, and to see that he's just a regular person like anybody else and that he can go through this drama and heartache, it made me have more compassion. It made me have a lot more love for him and his struggle. What was so crazy about the entire situation is that not only was this child not his, the court system forced Neo to pay this woman, Jesseca White, $575,000 towards a child that was not his for support just because he signed the birth certificate. So this bitch walked away with $500,000. And right now, her and Gloria Allred are preparing to sue Neo unless he coughs up more money. Gloria is basically saying that her client has been harassed nonstop on the internet. She's been harassed in her everyday life. She was forced to quit her job, and now she's receiving welfare. My question is this. How the fuck does somebody get $500,000 and then blow it within 3 years? She shouldn't be receiving any type of government assistance. She should have banked her money. She should have saved it up. She should have got a job. She should have did more than what she did. Basically, this lady went shopping on his dime, did what she wanted to do. Now, us, the taxpayers, are being forced to take care of this child that has no father. This whole situation just pisses me off. I hate when I see good men get drugged through the mud. Neo is a good man. He has 2 children with his current fiance. Her name is Monyetta, and I believe that this bitch is just jealous. This bitch, Jesseca. She's mad because she's out here. She put herself out there like a hoe. How are you having sex with 2 different guys? You don't know who the father is. And instead of her being honest, she lied and said that Neo was the father of this child. Then when it comes out, it's Neo's fault. Neo has to pay her money. Why wouldn't she? If anything, she should have to pay Neo money for, for the pain and suffering that he had to go through. So it just shows you how backwards this court system is. I can get pregnant by, a random guy, pin the baby on him, and then walk away with money when it comes out that it's not his child. I know guys who've been put in that situation where they've gotten with a female, they were in a relationship, the girl cheats on him, but because he signed the birth certificate, he is forced to pay child support on a child that's not his for the next 18 years. I mean, there's something wrong with that. A hoe is a hoe is a hoe. I don't give a damn if it's a high-class hoe and you messing with Lil Wayne or if it's the hood right down the street. First of all, how are you sleeping with 2 people at the same time, clearly unprotected? What if it wasn't a baby that came out of this situation? What if it was HIV? I always look at stuff like that. So I just think for her to be trying to sue this man is just a disgrace. They need to throw her damn court case out. If she's getting clowned by people, that's what you get. When you make stupid decisions, people are going to have an opinion on it. That's life. Get over it. And then for her to be on welfare, I find that just crazy. When 3 years ago you had $500,000 and you went through that money in 3 years, you got a lot of us living paycheck to paycheck, and we're able to maintain our families. Somebody gives you free money and you just blow it, and now it's the taxpayer's job to take care of your child. Gloria Allred to me is a sham. She's a bullshit lawyer. She makes the law practice just look like a fucking joke. All this bitch does is represent hood rats and represent just foolish women. Everything from the Tiger Woods case to the Miami cannibal's girlfriend. Why is it that people always run to Gloria Allred when it's a ratchet case? In my personal opinion, Neo did not paint Jesseca any type of way. Jesseca painted herself as a hoe. Jesseca put herself out there like that. Neo just spoke on it. He has a right to speak on his life experiences because his life experience, I'm sure, helped another man or helped another young boy to be like, before I sign the birth certificate, I want to make sure the DNA is in place. I want to make sure there's no doubt that this is my child. If Neo can go through this, anybody can go through this. But I think for this woman to come back and try and sue him is a joke. And that's why I said people need to call out ratchet behavior. I don't find it cute and I don't understand. I've had women try to break it down to me as far as how they got into a situation where they didn't know who the father was. I'm sorry, you're a hoe. There's only so much time that you can get pregnant. And if you're messing with more than one person, then just be honest. You might potentially be the father, you may not. But don't sit here and lie and say that you're 1,000% sure that somebody is the father when you know in the back of your mind you were sleeping with multiple people. You know, I just can't stand people who deceive and who just make excuses for their fuckery. Bitch, you're a hoe. You was having sex with more than one person, unprotected, and you wound up pregnant. So own up to your shit. You know, so the whole situation is really, really irritating me. But, you know, I hope Neo keeps his head up. Neo shouldn't have to pay her a damn thing. If anything, she should be paying Neo for his heartache and suffering. But we all know that's not going to happen because the judicial system is more biased towards women, even hoes. So anyways, go ahead, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about the entire situation. Do you think Neo was at fault for, you know, telling this part of his life? Do you think Neo should have just kept his mouth shut? And how do you feel about this woman blowing $575,000 in 3 years and now she's back on welfare and she's looking for another handout? You know, and I honestly think that if she ends up getting paid, you're going to see more girls go down this route. I don't think that we should be rewarding anyone for bad behavior. So go ahead, leave a comment. All right, deuces.